Hey everybody, it's me, your friendly neighborhood Uncle Pete, and this is my series, Nails in a Coffin, where we learn that with great kills, there must also come great nails. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. We're more than halfway in through the Puppet Master franchise, and we're nailing Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys this week, which was a first time watch for me. Before we get started, here's a look at the average Nails in a Coffin for all the movies I've covered so far. And you can see that currently Curse of Puppet Master is leading with the lowest. Can you lead with the lowest? Anyways, Curse of Puppet Master has the lowest average with only one nail in the coffin. If you've been following along in my videos, you'll know that last week, Green Goblin sent me a message because I've been having issues since I've been covering the Puppet Master franchise. That little figure keeps moving around, and you'll know that he sent me a message. And as you can see, I called in a little favor, and he just recently arrived. So I'm going to have him take care of this. So Blade, I hope you can take care of this for me like you said you would. So I'm going to go take off for a second. Thanks, buddy. Well, that all worked out, so hopefully we won't be having any more issues, thanks to my new friend Blade. Well, back down to business. So we are discussing Puppet Master vs. Demonic Toys this week, and this movie is not connected to the Puppet Master franchise. It's pretty much a standalone film outside the original Puppet Master universe. And we do not get Andre Toulon in this movie. We get his great-grandnephew, Robert Toulon, and he is played by... Seriously? Played by him. Okay, Robert Toulon is played by Corey Feldman. Yes, we get Corey Feldman as part of the Toulon legacy, who they made look older by just putting powder in his hair and giving him a gruff voice. I wonder if that works. Let's see. So, there we are. Do I really look any older now? Because this is what they did to Corey Feldman. Channel. Thank you very much. So, let's get down to business and let's put some nails in a coffin with Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys. In this film's universe, the puppets and Andre Toulon's secret formula now belong to Robert Toulon, Andre's great-grandnephew, and Alex, Robert's daughter. Robert builds dolls and puppets for a living, and he's determined to create his own life force potion based off of Andre Toulon's diaries entries. Robert eventually figures out the potion with the help of Alex. Robert does inject the puppets with his new formula, and he brings them to life. And he explains to them who he is, and they quickly accept him as their new puppet master. The leader of the evil toy corporation that is spying on Robert is Erica Sharp. After seeing that Robert and his daughter had found a new secret of life, Erica plans on stealing that secret because evil corporation, blah, blah, greed, you know, typical movie trope. She sends a group of thieves to break into Toulon's residence and retrieve the puppets. They break in and they're searching around Robert's lab. They find the puppets and Andre's diary. So the puppets are not moving when the thieves are actually looking. And all of a sudden, the puppets attack the two thieves. Blade and Jester are stabbing one of them in the leg, and Pinhead is trying to strangle the other one. Robert hears the commotion, but he comes running down to the lab where he's immediately knocked out. Six Shooter takes aim at one of the thieves. He shoots at him, but his bullets destroy some lab equipment, and this starts a fire. The thieves get away, and unfortunately the fire does burn all the puppets. Robert and his daughter Jane are talking about who could try and break in and steal these puppets. Robert is actually fixing the puppets from the injuries they received during the fire, but he's upgrading them, giving them cyborg parts and, lasers and enhanced weaponry.
Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology.
I wonder if they're going to need those advancements anytime soon in this movie. Meanwhile, in Corporation Evil, Erica tricks a young receptionist, Christine, down into the secret lair in the office building. Erica then forces Christine to open a Jack-in-a-Box, only to find out it's Jack-in-Attack from Demonic Toys. She's tortured by the toys, and then Erica leads her into an Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden? Excellent!
One of the servants straps her in there, and when Erica gives a signal, the other servant activates a trap, and spikes impale Christina. The blood goes into a well, and Erica calls forth the demon Baal, who she wants to make a deal with. This was her first kill in the movie, and I'm going to give Christina 2 nails in a coffin. She was just a naive young woman, and she was following orders from the CEO of the company. Erica told Christine that the board of directors wanted to see her, so she was escorted into Erica's evil dungeon, and she was more naive than stupid, Christine. She was overwhelmed and then outnumbered by the demonic toys. I mean, it's in their name, the demonic toys. One of the servants forced her into the Iron Maiden. And she did struggle somewhat when they were doing it. It didn't appear that she froze, but she wasn't given much of a chance to break free. So I'm going to go down the middle and give her 2 nails in a coffin. Erica called forth the demon Baal so she can make a deal with him. She wants to mass market demonic toys that appear harmless, but on Christmas Eve, the toys will awaken and kill, which is really effed up. Baal learns that the ancestor of Jean-Paul Toulon, Robert Toulon, is who Erica is obsessed with. Baal made a deal with Jean-Paul Toulon centuries ago. Jean-Paul wanted to trade his soul for the secret of alchemy. But when Baal came for his soul, Jean-Paul went deep into the woods, got lost, and became entangled into this ancient oak. So they both want the blood of Toulon. Now Erica must deliver the blood of Robert's daughter, Alex, to Baal on Christmas morning so she can get all of her evil toys brought to life. And Baal will kill Erica if she fails to bring him the Robert's daughter. Again, this film is set in its own universe, and it's not really connected to any other Puppet Master film in the franchise. Robert and Alex find the spy camera in their shop. The spy camera looks like Ladybug, and Robert remembers seeing this when he met with Erica at her evil corporation building. So when they take a closer look at this little Ladybug spy camera, it self-destructs. But then they learn it was from Sharp Toys, and it's no secret to Robert that Erica is behind all of this. With the help of Police Sergeant Jessica Russell and Alex, Robert figures out Erica's plan to awaken the demonic toys on Christmas morning. Robert has to be the one to stop it, so he and Alex pack up the puppets and they plan on going to Sharp Toys to stop them. They're about to leave, but Robert has to stop to pee, which is just maybe because he's old, I don't know. And while he's gone, Erica and her henchmen arrive. Erica has Jack Attack in a box. He springs out, grabs Alex, and the henchmen grab her and kidnap her and the puppets. Robert sees this, and he's confronted by Julian, Erica's assistant. He's with Baby Oopsie, who fart launches at Robert, knocking him out and kidnapping him as well. Jessica was knocked out in her squad car by Baby Oopsie Daisy, but she comes to and she goes to Sharp Toys to save Robert and Alex. When she gets to the entrance, she's confronted by this gate security guard. When he sees her, he immediately pulls his weapon and fires at her. She returns fire, hitting him in the chest, killing him. We only have 16 minutes left in the film, and we're only at our second kill. Anyways, I'm giving the security guard 1 nail in the coffin. He saw someone by his post, and his first response was to draw his weapon and fire. She was wearing her uniform. He never challenged her like a sentry is supposed to do. The last thing you do is pull your weapon and fire when you see someone who can be an intruder. You never questioned or challenged the person. So she had to shoot him since he had shot at her first with no provocation. He was stupid, plain and simple. This moron gets 1 nail in the coffin. Robert is locked in Erica's office with 2 of her henchmen, and he just turned down Erica's offer for sex before he would be killed, which is a choice, I guess. Robert's case of puppets is also in the room with him. 6-Shooter uses his new laser advancements to cut through the case that they were in. The 2 guards pull their weapons and start to fire when 6-Shooter steps out of the case. They can't seem to hit anything, and 6-Shooter easily fires lasers at the guards, killing both of them. I'm going to give both of these idiots 1 nail in the coffin apiece. They just stood there when they saw a laser burn through the side of the case. They didn't react until 6-Shooter stepped out. And they couldn't hit anything. I know it's a small target, but for crying out loud, you can use those little notches on top of the barrel of the gun to aim. That's what they're there for. They never took cover or did anything that would let you know they had any type of security or, law enforcement training or guard training or anything. There was a lot they could have done to avoid getting killed so easy, but they chose to be stupid and help increase the body count by standing directly in the line of fire, presenting the biggest target possible. And when you're that stupid in a horror movie, you're going to get 1 nail in the coffin. After the 2 henchmen were killed, Robert picked up one of their guns and said, "I told you so." Just then, Eric's assistant walks into the room with Jack Attack. Robert demands Julian take him to his daughter. Julian says he can't do it. However, he takes a medallion off him around his neck and he holds it up to Robert. Robert sees it and he figures out this is a secret key to the elevator to go down to Erica's secret dungeon. Robert takes the key and Jack Attack comes out of the box. He screams and the sound affects the entire room. The puppets are freaking out. Robert puts his hands over his ears and he gets away from Jack Attack. Julian is still holding the box and his eyes start to bleed and they eventually explode out of his head, killing him. This was the hardest death to nail in this episode, so after some consideration, I'm going to give him 2 nails in a coffin. He betrayed Erica for reasons and helped Robert. Did he unalive himself thinking Erica would do it when she found out about the betrayal? I don't know. Did he want to die? Did he have to die? It's kind of hard to tell, and I can go either way with the nails. I did an argument for both sides, and there's a few nail options I can go with. He helped Robert. He tried to sacrifice himself. He did work for Evil Corporation. So, after taking everything into consideration, I'm going to have to go down the middle and give him 2 nails in a coffin. Claudia was another young woman receptionist who worked at the Evil Toy Corporation. Just like Christina, I should say, Erica told Claudia, hey, I want to introduce you to the board of directors. So Claudia follows Erica down to her Dungeon of Doom. It's not just a few minutes till midnight, and we're in Erica's dungeon. Alex is in the Iron Maiden. She's screaming for help, and Erica has her henchmen bring Claudia to this fiery pit. She tells Claudia, hey, we gotta do this the old-fashioned way, and the henchmen drop Claudia into the fiery pit, killing her. Claudia died as a sacrifice, just like Christina, and I'm gonna nail her the same as Christina. Did I just say that? Anyways, I'm giving her 2 nails in a coffin. It's for the same reason I gave Christina. Claudia was just naive, just like Christina. You know, she was following the CEO of her company that she worked for. She was overpowered and thrown into a pit. Maybe she could have kicked and screamed more, but I didn't see her really do anything stupid. She did try to resist somewhat, but I didn't think she did bad enough to get 1 nail in a coffin, and I think 2 nails in a coffin is fair, just like I gave Christina. After Claudia was sacrificed, Erica began her incantation to summon forth Bile. He shows up and he tells Alex the whole story about Sean Paul Toulon, their deal, sold for alchemy secrets. He says that Sean Paul merged with an oak tree, cheating him out of Sean Paul's soul. And then Robert shows up with Jessica to tell Alex that the tree that Sean Paul was merged with was the tree that his son Andre Toulon first used to carve his puppets. They're running out of time and Baal wants his blood sacrifice. With Alex in the Iron Maiden, Erica gives a signal, and one of the henchmen closes it while another one starts the machine. Robert attacks one of the other henchmen, trying to save his daughter, and while they're fighting, Jessica shoots the henchman by the lever on the Iron Maiden, and he dies. Henchman number 1, that's what I'm going to call him, he earned himself 1 nail in the coffin. He just stood there like a zombie and only moved when Erica told him to start the machine. He heard gunfire, never took cover, never moved. He just stood there like a dummy, never tried anything, and when you're a dummy like that, you're going to be lucky to only get this 1 nail in the coffin. While Robert is still wrestling with henchman number 3, Jessica gets in a shootout with henchman number 2. They're shooting back and forth. 6-Shooter is helping Jessica with some laser blasts. Eventually, Jessica is able to get a hit, shooting henchman number 2 in the chest, killing him. Henchman number 2, I'm going to give him 1.5 nails in the coffin. Now, he was the only person in this movie to at least try and take cover. Everybody else was out in the open, presenting really large targets. He was the only one that actually tried to not get hit. He definitely wasn't the smartest guy in the world. You know, if he took a moment to actually sight in on Jessica, he probably would have a better chance of surviving. She was a stationary target. He was, bobbing and weaving, trying to take cover. She was just against the wall. She never moved. She probably could have been hit if the guy took a second to aim. Granted, he was being fired at. So just taking from all my training and everything into consideration, I'm going to bump up just a little bit and give henchman number 2 1.5 nails in a coffin. During all the shooting and fighting, the puppets are fighting the demonic toys. Blade starts spinning around and he chops up Grizzly Teddy, destroying that toy. Jester smacks the crap out of Jack Attack, sending him flying into a wall, destroying him. And Pinhead gets a hold of Baby Oopsie Daisy. He punches him a couple times and then crushes his head and tosses him into the fiery pit. Robert is still wrestling with henchman number 3. He finally gets him on the ground and Pinhead comes to the rescue and bashes him on the head, killing him. And I guess he killed him. The punch didn't look too hard, but, it's a movie. So, only a couple deaths to go, and I'm going to give henchman number 3 1.5 nails in a coffin. I think Robert was supposed to be an old man, but the henchman had a hard time trying to fight the guy. You know, Erica picked crappy people to hire as henchmen. She must have found them in the penny saver. If you don't know what a penny saver is, you're just not old yet. I mean, this guy was lame, and I'm only giving him the extra half a nail since he actually moved and was trying to fight Robert, but he was still pretty easy to kill, so 1.5 nails in the coffin. By now, the sun has risen, and Baal did not get his sacrificial blood in time. It's too late for Erica for the deal that she made, so Baal grabs her, takes her into his hellscape, where she will live forever in eternity as his slave. Erica is the final death in Puppet Master vs. Demonic Toys, and she earned herself a solid 1 nail in the coffin. She was dumb, her plan was dumb, her motivations were, I'm a spoiled brat. She also just stood around when the puppets were fighting the demonic toys and when Robert was fighting with the henchmen and Jessica was in a shootout. She just stood there. She could have started the Iron Maiden herself instead of waiting for the other guys to try and do it. She did a whole lot of standing around, wasting time. So she's going to rest in hell with Baal with 1 nail in the coffin. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Those are all my nails in the coffin for Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys. Here's a summary of all the nails I've awarded. Here's the average nails in a coffin of all the movies I've covered so far. After 9 movies, Curse of Puppet Master still has the lowest average with 1 nail in a coffin, and Retro Puppet Master has the highest average with 1.95 nails in a coffin. The Puppet MVP for this week is 6 Shooter. He lasers his way out of the case they were in, killing 2 guards fairly easily. He also helped Jessica shooting at henchman number 2. And even though the fire at the beginning of the movie was due to his shooting, I think he definitely redeemed himself, and I feel he deserves his second award as this week's most valuable puppet. There we go, everybody. That was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you here next week when I cover Puppet Master Axis of Evil, which will be a first time watch for me. So I'll see you here next week while we give that movie some nails in a coffin. Say goodbye, Blade. I am your friendly neighborhood Uncle Pete, and remember, with great kills, there must also come great nails.